Not sure if everybody saw this car in the background. It was parked in that corner over there. Uh, Lots of fun. So I'm supposed to do a bunch of work to this, and I like put this on the super back burner, and now my friend is probably not really happy with me. But I'm finally working on it. Um, that being said, I started working on this side, taking out the front end. Boy, what a pain in the ass. And what a whole bunch of problems taking this stuff apart too. And I don't like the way these torsion bar bushings look, and they're very expensive. And I say, nah, you probably don't need it. And the thing is, there is a lower control arm bushing here, and the bolt. I said, you know what? Fuck it, I'm going to get the lower control arm bushing, but it's actually it came out a little bit, um, but the bolt is stuck, and the nut came out, but as you can see, like it was kind of lodged in there because the bolt is still on there. It kind of forced its way out, and that's why it even went out like a half an inch. There we go. But I got to get that guy out somehow, and I got all these torsion. And I'm like, I never did this before. Never did it on this body. I forgot what the denomination is. I'll probably put it in the thing because people may want to know it. What sucked about this is that this one came out. This one just kept spinning on me. So I don't know if it was spinning against the thing or spinning inside there. I'm not quite sure, but I would say it's pretty lousy design overall. I'm supposed to also convert this car to AC just in time for November. Uh, that's how long I've had the car. Um, I see it. I don't know if you guys noticed it, but there's brakes work great, but this is people's fixes in New York. Where is it? Yeah, that. And that gripes me. I don't know what the hell this line is, but I guess it goes back there. Looks like an emissions line, so that could wait. Um, there's a lot of things going on here, and we'll see what I accomplish. Because I guess he's gonna kind of need the car because it took so long. But yeah, don't take prepayment for something, even when you're broke, because it always bites you in the ass. So now I'm gonna take this side apart, and I'm gonna hopefully show you a couple of things that I ran into. Most of it's pretty you know basic, but I didn't want to take the rotor off. But once I got the rotor off, the uh, the rear backing plate it just bends slightly, no big deal, and you just bend it back, the clearance off there, and I'm gonna still work on that stuff. Eventually, I'll see how this side comes out. Took out a lot of these bolts and big torsion bar bolts, and all these bolts that hold this wacky fucking setup, and hopefully, here's the other brake line. Oh my god. And he had somebody weld all this metal here, and it's like, ooh, lots of rusty stuff. Oh my gosh, chunk there. Um, this front end is going to be worth more than the rest of the car. All right, so got the tie rod off and the see it's on the floor there, the idler arm. I'm going to do the pitman arm. I mean, the whole front end is going to get done, and we weren't going to do the torsion bar bushings or the lower bushings, but I took so long to even get to this, and I feel bad. But it's besides that. It's like, how can you do the whole thing and not do the whole thing? Yeah. So that's where I'm at with this POS. At least it will be. At least when I'm driving it. But otherwise, this car drives very well. A lot of good things about it. But rust is never a good thing. Something to think about. The other side, this brake hose looked like it was changed because it was gold. I think it's like becoming part of the car, like sort of. Yeah. It's like, how do you even get this? You gotta hope and pray a bolt comes out, even if there's a bolt holding this, I gather. Oh, it's on the underside. Yeah, so okay, it's part of the bracket, so it just breaks off if anything. Yeah, lots of going on here. Lots of stuff. So I'll probably be fast forwarding a little bit to some things. I don't think you need much help with a lot of this. So it's really just getting down to the other stuff. Like I said, it's just you unload the two big bolts. You know, it goes in these holes here that unload the torsion bars. So they're pretty much just hanging. Did I take out the bolts here? It's funny how one of them didn't really move. I probably have a bolt still to go here. Oh, it slides up and out. That's why. I got all the weight on it. Okay, yeah. So this guy is moving. It just there's a lot of weight on it. All right. This guy here. That's the end. Oh, it's still connected here, so that's that. Of course. So I gotta kind of lift up and out. Although it can kind of stay right there. You know, to be honest, I'm kind of sad. I took out the bolts, but it kind of like once it gets loose, it just zips right out. So be cognizant of that. That's the first thing. So let me show you what I did. I think I'm going to do the same thing because out of necessity, I took off these 4 bolts, but I think I'm going to do it again just to do it. And then you assemble it all together, perhaps, not sure, because I couldn't get the top bolt out for this. And, you know, so it's kind of worth it to do it in that way, you know. Hopefully I'm not covering my mic like I have been doing lately because this new phone is like a really decent phone for some things, like for battery life. But it's terrible for like a lot of little quirky things. Anyway, I'm not here to do cell phone reviews, but all right, let's get started. First strike. Yeah, I lubed everything up. But like, you know, 9 times out of 10, you don't get these guys out of there. Actually, this one looked like it will come out, but just to show you what I do if I have a problem. So I'm gonna cut it off right there because we got all new stuff. You know, we don't need to get out caught of things. You know, because if you didn't know. Is that the 3/4? No, it was a 3/4. But I bring back everything but the most important something. Yes, that's what I did. People have this kind of situation where you have, you know, a beat up caught penny, like, oh my God, what am I gonna do? Even if you're gonna save this, okay? If your gun's strong enough, it just goes right through. And then you just take a pick and you just knock it through right there, you know? No big deal. This is why cotta pins don't save lives. So other than, you know, getting this guy out, that's that. And then I highly suggest a tie rod tool, which I don't know. I thought I brought everything over. Apparently not again. This is the tie rod tool that I'm talking about. You load it up, and of course, if you are missing the pin like me, you just stick a grade 8 bolt in there, and it works. If you got rocks on the ground, you either got to jack up the carb more, or you can kind of make this work. There we go. Boom. Easy peasy. I do the tie rod first, because this. Now I can go this, I can go that, I can I don't have to get, hey, can you turn the wheel back and forth? You know, I can't tell you how many times you do that until it happens. Oh, look at this. I just realized. I probably just did that because I don't recall seeing that. I have to look at the video again. Oh man, this is hard as a rock. Okay. More work added to it. How did I know this? Maybe this is why I took less time. I took more time to do it because I just like miserable. I'm laughing now though. We'll see what happens. I'll probably be crying soon. Interesting. Somebody had done this, not me. First of all, this grease is the thickest stuff I've ever seen in my life. It looks, you know, it's red grease. But here's the thing. when I took this off, I'm like, oh wow, look, somebody took off the rotors, but I don't know. I don't know if it was me. I'm gonna be honest with you. Thing is, I got this guy here. He likes to tell me, it's not a big deal. You don't have to do this. You don't have to go crazy. You don't have to do this. You don't have to do that. And there's always a right way. And sometimes when a customer does that to you, and you look down the road, you're like, what? Why did I listen to him for? You know? And the thing is like the bearings were black grease, and then there was red grease on the outside here and going on the inside. So I somehow don't remember doing this, but guess you would know better than me. I can't remember shit. But yeah, it's like, what's the point of putting all that stuff? Like, why would we take it off and then not cut the rotors? Things like that. Yeah, it's like always something. Always something with old cars. I tell you, if you predominantly fix old cars, you don't realize how much maintenance a lot of these cars needed, and it's just sad, you know. Everything is like very labor intensive. You know, well, it's not. You know, in a lot of senses, you know, it's like not that difficult. Parts are not that expensive. Of course, distortion board fucking bushings are gonna be expensive, but I've never seen grease like this. And look, there's black grease in there. The other side at least had red grease. You know, I don't know. I don't think I did this. I really don't. So, like I said, once you get this guy off, I'm going to try to, like I did on the other side, I got the cotter pins out of the ball joints. But once I get this off, then I'll show you what I did. It's like, you know, now that I got the rotor off, you know, we weren't even thinking about doing the whole front end. Like, he was like, this is a lot of bullshit for you. And if we only, you know, because I really only felt like one bad bushing, but I was like, you probably should do the whole front end. He's like, I do it. You know, like, he has no problem with it. And sometimes, like, I get myself in trouble because I'm like, why did I get into that? But I go up and down like this, I can feel play. So, like, it's so slight, but it's like, you know, it's ready for things to come. It's funny because when I was not holding the camera, I was able to get it to make more noise, like almost audible. Oh yeah, there we go. I don't know if I'm hitting the caliper. I don't think so. Oh yeah, definitely. But like, you can't even feel that if you're jacking up the car and trying to shake it. You're really not going to feel that. It really helps to have the load of the suspension off and everything, and you don't have, you know, the control arms too far up or too far down. It's just kind of in a neutral place. You can really feel that there's something there. So this is well worth it. Like I said, I'm just gonna, that's the way I got it off, by bending it out. And again, whoosh, whoosh, and do whatever you got to do. And get these cotter pins out. It shouldn't be too hard. The other side wasn't too hard for that. And then get the ball joint fork. The cotter pins out. I actually had to rip off the cotter pin on the top one. Came right out. You know, I just busted the bottom one loose. And now we got the top one. I suggest you buy a used one if you can't afford it. A snap-on one is just much better. Kind of fight the rubber a little bit. It's pretty easy. Hand is not always the best thing to do. Big screwdriver helps. And this guy. Oops. It's a good picture. Yeah, now we do the bolt. 1980. I think most of the 80s have the press-in ball joints, but supposedly there's a few, you know, unicorns that have them. My guy was panicking, and so he just bought both. And there would be plenty of time. Sometimes this thing is not in a good place, but it came out a lot better before. I feel like I'm breaking it more. Always gotta double and triple check and see what happened. But yeah, got it out. Basically, I loaded it up a little bit and I started whacking it a little bit with a hammer and repositioned this. And I don't know how much it really mattered, but it came out. No biggie. Probably would have been easier if I just done the top one first, like the other one. I had a straight run. I think that was another reason you want to have a straight run with the thing. So I was kind of pressed up against here, and then it worked. So no big deal. I'm gonna get the rest of it out. Buy $100-something tool for a Dodge truck that it doesn't work on your classic car. Oh well, I guess it is what it is. I wanted to try it because I haven't used it yet. Now I got to find the old school one in my mess, which is right here because it has a permanent socket on it. I've had this thing for like 20 years. It's never died on me. I don't know what. I'm not even. I didn't even look at what brand it is. But I got a permanent socket will knock them off. And of course, you know, I don't want to heat it and ruin the tool, but the tool's taking a beating. But man, this thing works. It's just got it from your basic auto parts store. Probably was KD at the time. You know. Oh, OEM. You're kidding. So that must have been the original OEM, because this thing, it's very sturdy feeling, you know. I just don't see it working otherwise. That's just too hilarious. Come on. Trials and tribulations of work on one hand. You know what? I can't even get it on that way. That was part of the problem with the other one. I couldn't even, it's kind of in a weird place. But yeah, when I put it that way with the open side, well, of course now it fit. Sorry. Not holding the phone right. Okay, so despite what people think, when it comes to doing a pitman arm, well, that came right off. If it comes off like that, it's not a problem. But sometimes they're very fucking tight, and you have to load it up and then hit this. You know, I probably have a bunch of whale marks. That's pretty much why. You see, they have a 3/8 thing in there, and I've been whaling this for years. And then I was whaling that because it gets mushroomed. So then, you know, you got to get the thing on. Then you know, but that's really the way to do it. It just comes right off then when you have any kind of issue with it coming out. And this is when, you know, you take out the whole thing instead of trying to separate it, and then you put it together completely when you put the new ones. Because when you put it together, then you can kind of like get close to the wheel alignment so you don't kill the wheel alignment guy, you know, because he'll fucking hate you, or he just won't do it right. You got this little hole here, okay? 3/4 wrench fits inside there. Right now, it does not seem like the hex is lining up. All right, there you go. It's like partially lining up. Oh, yeah, nope, I slipped off. Oh, can I get the thing is, if I put the closed end on, and because I got a hard time getting the nut out because the bolt got stuck, and I'm kind of expecting the same debauchery. Okay, that's on actually. And you buy cheap tools, they don't have strong markings. Yes, I can make that work. What's in here? One of the nuts for, I don't know, the lugs? Just always a pleasure to work on rocks. Okay. Okay, so hopefully I'm going to hold this. I really don't know if this is holding, but basically this is the bolt for the lower bushing, which there's no listing for on Rock Auto. Oh, that one came out. So I only have to fuck with one of them then. That's wonderful. Oh, what a relief. Hope you saw that. Now, these are over here. The other one's kind of just rotated. I don't know if these are like splined. I don't think they are. One of them rotated, one of them didn't. For the alrighty, that came out. Nut. Throw it in the box. We can probably use a hammer for this. I think I put a blind, then like, yeah, you know, you don't want it to rotate. If it's, you know, it's not a huge deal. But you can see right here, look at that bushing. These bushings take a beating. It does not seem like it's, you know, really lined up anymore. It's just not a great design to do this. I mean, hard to say. Now, I don't know if that's just a... Oh, wow. So this would be... I saw two types. Wow, they want 200 for a pair for each of $400. I don't think they're getting paid. Man, I gotta get two hands on this. Everything's moving. Not worth filming. It's just a matter of tinkering with it. I mean, you can kind of see it's kind of malformed. Maybe it's a little more on target than I thought. You know, because this is like an oval here. And it really wasn't my huge concern about these. It was more of changing this because there's no listing for it. And once I saw it, I'm like, oh, because I wasn't sure how it was set up. I thought there was something with these bushings that were actually part of the control arm. But, you know, like the bushing came out, you know, but you can see these take a lot of beating. You know, same thing with the regular Mopars. But when you look on it, it's definitely off center, like big time. And that matters when you're doing the wheel alignment in the end. You know, and they never get it right. At least you put something new in there. You have a decent idea. I'm almost wondering if polyurethane would be in line for that. You know, because Rock Auto doesn't sell these. They try to cross-reference the part number and they're out of stock. Some people have them on eBay. But now I got to get out the other side. Nonetheless, I don't have to worry about the, you know, sway wall bushing right now. But yeah, I ended up taking out this whole guy. I ended up kept hitting the shock just to try to get it, and it wouldn't go. As you can see, this is all pretty rusty. But it should be okay, I gather. I just don't know what's preventing it from spinning like the other side spun. But I gather they just need to, when they do alignment, just loosen it and then move it in the shaft a little bit. Not quite sure how that's just gonna, you know, just because you put a square on here. I gather because it just binds on that, but kind of weird, you know. So if I held the gun on the other side to like more to one side, I would have gotten those bolts out. But I think it's easy just getting this whole thing out, setting it all up here, and then putting it in the same way. Obviously, without the shock, you put the shock in separately, and we're kind of okay. Lots of rust. Wonderful. Oh, ooh. Ugh. Okay now. Okay then. I bet you these things were so cheap at one time, but nobody ever changed them. And now that people want to change them, they bend you over a barrel. You know, it's really not fair. Oh Jesus! What, there's another bushing on that side. I don't know if that's a bushing. I have a feeling it's more fixed. But I would think that this one here gets more abuse. But I'm not even sure now. We're gonna bother changing it. It's just rock hard, which I guess it would be kind of ish. It couldn't be too soft, or you know, you're gonna have a problem with that. So I don't know. But yeah, these things here are splined. So one of them spun on me when I spun the nut. So I actually put the gun on this one, and on the inside one, it was hitting it. It wasn't moving. I'm like, that doesn't feel right. So I'm like, that's not a regular nut. So, but I don't think that's the one that got loose. This one is loose. But I think it still holds. No, it doesn't. No. Oh well, not a big deal. It's not like you can't get to it, and you can always have the socket on top of it. But this one here is still in, and it's still loose though. Yeah, no, it's pretty much loose. I guarantee this side was worse, mainly because the bolt is stuck in there now and whatnot. So I got to try to get that out, and then I'll see when. I got to talk to my friend about these things and what they want to do, what he wants to do, and it was not really on the agenda, you know. But I really want to change the bushing at least there. because the lower bushing, it matters. And like I said, it's offset already on the other side. I can only imagine how offset it is on this side, being that it's frozen to the bolt. So we shall find out. It wasn't really too bad. You can see all this rust powder that came out of here. But I basically had this underneath, and I was wedging these. I don't know if you saw that. I had this wedged underneath, and I had these underneath as well, and I was pulling on them. I was hitting it, and then every time it came out more, I had to, wedge it with more open ends. But in the end, it really wasn't working anymore. But I'm like, you know what? I had gotten it out like this much at least. So I just put this behind it, and I spun it with the gun, and it did come out. But you can see, like, the bushing looks like it's more over this way, okay? And you look at this side, it's more towards the top, I want to say. And maybe slightly over. Yeah, definitely the top, because there's more of this showing here. So you got to change the stuff. You can't mess around. Yeah. So it's pretty much all apart. Like I said, that torsion bar fell out. This one I still have a bolt in it, or that's a stud coming out of the car. For some reason, it was one stud. And it's just hooked up inside the other side there. It just like lifts up and comes out. Looks like brake hoses may need to be changed. This one was probably changed. Yeah, it was changed in 2000. So, what are you gonna do? 9/11/2000. Wow, that's funny. Anyway, yeah, I'm gonna start setting up all these things. I'm gonna talk to my friend. I'm gonna probably got to do brake lines on this and shit that I don't want to do, but I got to do it. Gotta do it right. You got it all apart. This is the time, and take it from there. Hopefully, it's not too much trouble. I gather this stuff, it can be changed at a later date. It's not really a big deal. It's not. It's almost like it's just going for a ride. So even if the bushing had a lot of play in it or something like that, it was rubbing, it would still work, for the most part. So it seems to still be intact. But like I said, it can be, done at a later date. I don't see why not. Might be a little hard to lift it out, but this side will just push right out these bolts. But, even if you had stripped the things on the other side, you got to do what you got to do. It's have them out. They're splined, so they're meant to come out. That's a shock bolt. Anyway, don't know if I'm going to make other videos, or this is gonna be one of the first videos, and then because I keep making these 2-hour videos and I don't think anybody's watching them. But in any case, if I make a little bit of a smaller video, perhaps people will look forward to part 1, 2, and 3 and stuff like that. So thinking about different things. So if this is the end or not the end, you'll find out right after this. Thanks for watching. If it is the end, if not, we'll go into the next step.